Hello, my name is Jared Crebs. I'm pictured here with my wife, Crystal, and our dog, Tasia. We're Emerald Directors. We've been with USANA for over 11 years. And this training is going to talk about your new tools that we've created for you and to help you duplicate your business. In addition, we're going to be going over what Tony Robbins taught us at the GoPro Recruiting Mastery event in Las Vegas. So let's go to the next slide. I want you guys to save these links, newclient.teamdsi.info and newassociate.teamdsi.info. Those two links basically have everything that you're going to need to get your new client started and get your new associate started. 5 simple steps for your clients, 5 simple steps for your associates. They're live, they're there. It's everything you need from that moment that they sign up, they give you their credit card number, you process their order. What do you do with them next? You give them those sheets. If they're with you face-to-face, you give them a printed copy. So you need at least 10 of these copies for your clients and your associates. If they're long distance, then you send them this link right away. You open it. You walk them through those 10 steps or the 5 steps. You get them both through their 5-step process. Really critical that you do that, guys. It's all about getting them registered for our emails, our texts, getting their next meeting scheduled, doing their business training, everything that a client and an associate would need. So I want you guys to save those links and print them up. Be ready. This is going to make your duplication a lot more easy, more simple for your business. All right, guys, now it's time for one of my most favorite topics, which is everything that I learned at Tony Robbins. This particular segment of the training, it's going to be about 10 minutes long, 10 to 15 minutes, but this is like gold. Okay, I spent $2,000 to learn all this information 2 weeks ago. When I say $2,000, what I mean by that is both me and my wife registered for this event, okay? It was $350 a piece. So me and my wife spent $700 to be at this event to learn from Tony Robbins for 4 hours. In addition to that, we learned from people who were making 6 figures monthly, not yearly. So we learned from all these people, right? Not only did we spend $700 just for our tickets, we bought our plane tickets, right? That's another $700-800 in plane tickets. We had, our room expense, room and board, right? Like we had to get food. We had to, fortunately, my parents were able to be roommates, and we had a home that we were able to use that my parents is one of their connections. So that was where we saved some money. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But at the end of the day, we spent close to $2,000 to learn this information, and I'm gonna bring this to you for free for you. You're in your business if you didn't go to GoPro, but I suggest that you get there. There's nothing like being at a live event, actually hanging out with Tony Robbins, and 16,000 of our best friends in network marketing were there. Nothing can compare with that. Even what I'm about to go over today is nothing like when we were there. So, but there are some things that I want to share with you guys that's going to really help you with your business. And so that's what this little segment's going to be about. And I'm real excited about it because this is some life-changing information, especially if you can apply the information. And so the first thing is when Tony Robbins came out, there was, I mean, if you don't know who Tony Robbins is, he's somebody who's trained literally all the who's who in our world. I mean, people who are Tony Robbins clients are people like Oprah, U.S. presidents. I mean, all like President Bill Clinton, President George W. Bush. I mean, all kinds of different politicians, sports, top athletes. Tony Robbins has trained them all. Serena Williams, that's another famous tennis player. Even Pitbull, the famous musician, is a student of Tony Robbins. Usher. I mean, the list goes on. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, you can look him up and you can see all the who's who of the clients that he's helped. And the thing that he came out and talked to us about was that your energy comes from your psychology. It's about the way you think and you feel, and that's called your state. And, we tend to think that energy comes from like maybe getting good sleep or the food, that we eat. And that's true to an extent, right? Like you do have to get sleep, you do have to eat right. But have you ever been like tired and gone to, ready to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you got some news or something happened and you were just so excited and wired, and the rest of the night you could hardly sleep? That's called your state. And that's actually your psychology, the way you think and you feel. And So what he says is the way that you control your state is through motion. They say that emotion is all about your motion. So he had us literally jumping up and down, like getting our blood flowing and getting ourselves in a happy state. And when you're in a happy state, that changes everything about your phone calls. That changes everything about your energy that you're drawing to you. Now, another thing that he dispelled was a myth for me, and that myth was, it's not, have you ever heard that myth? It's not what you say, but it's how you say it, right? Like if you're saying something to someone and you're very, low energy, then it's not going to come across. But he actually took it one level deeper. It's not how you say it, it's the state that you're in when you say it. And so we have to make sure as USANA associates and business people that we're in a good state when we're making our phone calls. Because if we're not in a good state, then we're going to attract bad things to us. And this is a really key point to our business is being in a good state. So the question is, how do you get in a good state? Now, when we had 4.5 hours with Tony Robbins, which you would think of as a long time, but he was actually telling us that he's used to giving his talks at 50 hours. He will go for 50 hours, meaning obviously he'll do a seminar and you'd be there for like 4 days with Tony Robbins, and you're there from like 12 hours a day for like 4 days in a row. That's what Tony Robbins does. So we only had 4 hours with him. He said 50 hours. Now why? Because during that time he has you get into state over and over with your physicality. When you're listening to a webinar, like right now, you're listening to this webinar, you're on your computer or maybe you're on your phone and you might be multitasking, and that's okay. But at the end of it, you don't retain it as much if you don't have a physical experience. You might say, oh, that was a great webinar. Jared shared some great things with me, but you don't actually learn it and apply it until you feel it, until you have a physical experience. So, I want to encourage each and every one of you right now just to stand up. If you're on this webinar and you're in front of your computer, get out of your chair, stand up. If you're on your phone, stand up and hold your phone, move around. I want you to actually jump up and down right now. I'm jumping up and down with you guys. Get yourself into a state. Get your blood flowing a little bit. Get moving. Smile. Put a smile on your face. I want you to put a smile on your face right now. Put a smile on your face. Jump up and down. I know some of you might be thinking, "Oh, this is stupid. This is foo-foo. This is dumb. Why am I doing this?" Look, do you want to be super successful or not? Do you want to follow what someone who has a track record of training hundreds of thousands of people to be successful or not? Right? If you could have all your goals accomplished being the person you are, then you wouldn't have to change. You'd already have them all. If you don't have your goals and you have to change, you have to try something new. So guys, stand up, jump up and down, smile. I want you to get your blood flowing. Now put on some good music. I can't put on music because I can't, I'm on doing this webinar, but I'd put on some music, and that's what I do. I wake up in the morning, I put on some good music. I get this is seriously something you can do in like 2 or 3 minutes. It'll change everything about your phone calls. It'll change everything about what's going on with you when you can change your state. And so that's the key, is that before you make your phone calls, before you go into your meetings, you need to kind of change your state, get your blood flowing, get in a good positive mind frame, and then make your calls, and then be that person. And you're going to draw that energy to you, okay? So that's one of the main things that we learned, and that's why he has you do it for 50 hours at his seminars, because you keep getting yourself in state over and over and over and over. We did it for 4 hours. I think I learned enough to be able to get myself in state, but boy, I'm really intrigued about going to one of his 4-day seminars. So the other thing that he talked about was mastering the skill of influence. So you might be sitting back down at your computer. If you're really teachable, you got up and you jumped up and down and you smiled and you did your stuff, right? Now you're sitting back in your computer desk, or you might be sitting back down on your chair, your couch, but you got to stay in state. Keep that smile, keep that energy. And what he says is mastering the skill of influence, okay? basically, in order to influence well, we have to know what already influences our clients and our associates. And that energetic shift can be made in just a few seconds. But basically, when you know what your client needs, then you can influence them because it's all about them. How do you do that? You ask questions. You say, oh, how long, or what's your main health goals? What do you want to get out of USANA? And then they're going to tell you, and then you know what products to give to them. That energetic shift, that being focused on their goals, their beliefs. So remember that emotion is created by motion. Write that down. If you're taking notes, emotion is created by motion. It's the way you move that determines the way you feel. Now, another thing that he really talked about, and this is how I want to end our training tonight, is why do you want your goals to come true? Why do you want your goals to come true? Think about it right now. Some of you want to make 6 figures in USANA. Why? What is that? What is that going to do for you? Some people say will it give maybe a sense of security, give them a sense of ability to do more things. Maybe it helps them move away from pain. But really, will a bunch of money in your bank account really give you more security? If you have a stack of paper with dead people on it, what they call money, you think that's going to make you happier? He talked about Robin Williams. Remember the famous actor who committed suicide that we all loved, Robin Williams? I mean, the most funny guy ever, right? From Mrs. Doubtfire and all those big movies. And he talked about how Robin Williams literally achieved everything that an actor can achieve. Like, he was the funniest guy with the funniest movies. He won Academy Awards for being funny, right? For comedy. But then he said, well, I want to go and I want to actually win an Academy Award for a drama. And not you remember the Dead Poets Society? He won the Academy Award for the Dead Poets Society. He had his own television show. He had his own sitcom. Literally every level of success he had it. And he committed suicide. He killed himself. He hung himself in his house, and his family had to find him. And Tony Robbins said it like that in the GoPro meeting. And I was just like a little shocked because, I always think, man, when I get to Diamond, I'm going to be so happy, like maybe happier than I already am. But the main thing I learned from Tony Robbins is I have to be happy now. I have to be happy now where I'm at. And I have to be happy and feel that state. He said he used to think that the most important thing is the people you hang out with. And that's obviously still very important. But he learned in the last several years that there's something more important, and that is always being in a good state. And if you come to think about it, that's really the quality of your life. Is the state you're in right now in this very moment is the quality of your life. And it just hit me so much. If I can be happy now as I am, with my business the size that it is, with my checks where they're at, with wherever I am, if I can be happy now, of course I'm going to take action. Of course I'm going to go for my goals. I'm not going to stop having goals. But I'm not going to be stupid and think that achieving every goal in the world is going to make me happy. They won't make me happy. What's going to make me happy is being at peace, being in a happy state, taking action from that happy state. I'm just going to draw everybody to me. And so that was the key thing that I got from Tony Robbins is I have to be happy now. This webinar has been a challenge. We've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight. But you know what? Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Randy Krebs, for being in a good state. Because you said, you know what? It's all good. There's no problems. And you just got right back on it. And that helped me get in a good state. And we're going to help each other stay in a good state, guys. This is a team. We're a team. This is how we work together. I even got some really encouraging texts from the team while we were having all these technical difficulties. Thank you, Luis Sanchez. Thank you, Renee Martinez. I appreciate all you guys. And, we have to control our state. When your state is when you're in a good physical state and you're happy and you're in a good mental place, then make those calls. Do not make your phone calls. Do not prospect if you're in a bad mood. Go take a nap, then go jump up and down, put on some music you like, get yourself in a good mood, feel gratitude. And that is the last thing I want to say. The way to control your state is to feel gratitude. Everybody wants something more, right? Everybody wants something bigger. Everyone wants more money. Everyone wants to grow, and that's good. But the way we get there is we feel gratitude. If I can feel happy right now for having a roof over my head, for having food in my belly, for having friends, for having nutritional supplements, for having the clients that I do have, the associates that I do have, if I can count every blessing in my life, if I can count all those blessings and go to bed at night thinking about all the great things in my life, and I can wake up and focus on all the good that's happening for me, even the fact that I have gas in my car, or that I have electricity and I have heating and I have running water, and if I can just be happy, then when I take action, man, I'm going to attract the right people. I'm going to attract other people who are grateful. I'm going to create a life based on my state right now. And if I keep my state in good how do you say it, in a positive place, then that's all that really matters. And so that's what I want to leave you guys with. I want to encourage you to focus on gratitude as the way that you control your state. Focus on motion, jumping up and down for 2 minutes with good music on, with a smile on your face. You'd be surprised what kind of state that can put you in. So let's go to the last slide. Thank you for attending. I look forward to hearing your feedback. I look forward to meeting you at one of our USANA events, and I look forward to hearing how being in a positive state has helped you and what you've been able to create and help others with your USANA business.